my taste test for you today. This is a little bottle, and we've talked about maybe little bottles taste differently.
Small bottle flavor.
I don't know. Do you pick up some small bottle in there?
Immediately on the nose. I smell the small bottles. Welcome to the Whiskey Uncut podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a special occasion. It is Doctor of Whiskey, James, his birthday.
Well, at least that's when we're celebrating my birthday, right? It was July 15th, so we're a little bit behind.
Yeah, but that was during all our COVID issues.
True, yeah.
So because of that, we have a little bit of a cheese spread here. Real quick, housekeeping. Thank you to our newest member joining the Patreon at the virtual tasting tier. So we have Mark Solomon has joined us there. And then we also have a new member, if my phone will load and tell me. I just dropped off the tasting kits today. So if you're interested in getting those virtual tastings, we have 7 spots left. I think this week was New Riff Single Barrel, New Riff Rye, and Buffalo Trace. Normally they will be the upcoming whiskeys from the tastings, but because we had not been together for a few weeks, we didn't have it planned out properly what those were going to be. So they were all whiskeys from last week's episode.
Still some good ones in there. Those new riffs are solid. And a lot of people, like you mentioned in the last episode, you just can't find Buffalo Trace like you used to.
Right.
And if you do, a lot of times the price is jacked up. So it's nice to be able to put that in the kit.
Another thing to mention, we are again in a new location.
We just keep moving around.
Because my house is still in chaos, but we did not have access to the recording studio today. So we are just in a different space in my house. So it's a little echoey. So I apologize for those on the audio listening to that. But we have something to talk about. We have new merch. We have Whiskey Uncut and Malt Mondays toppers cut out of wood with the burnt-in logo. Looks really nice. So these will be available if you're on our Patreon tier. The Whiskey Superfans will be getting sets of these, probably 4. And then you have now poured me a blind sample, James.
So this is my attempted revenge, since you always put me on the spot with a couple bourbons here lately. So I'm gonna put you on the spot this week as well as next week. And so the theme for the next couple weeks here is we're gonna drink a couple like budget scotches and talk about them a little bit, and then we're also gonna drink some higher end scotch. And we'll do the same thing with bourbon next week. So we'll have a couple, $30 to $40 range bourbons, and then we'll talk about those in comparison to some upper end ones. And so for my taste test for you today, this is a little bottle, and we've talked about maybe little bottles taste differently.
Small bottle flavor.
I don't know. Do you pick up some small bottle in there?
Immediately on the nose. I smell the small
bottles. But I want to see what you think of this one. This would fall into the bourbon or to the budget category, which is why I chose it. So, yeah.
So this is $40 or under?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the mini was especially under $40. I think it was $2.99. So okay. We're well into the budget range.
Well, I think you're cheating if you count the mini as a $40 mini. Could be like a really nice bottle of scotch.
Even if you extrapolate it, it's under $40 or under $50, which is sort of our cutoff point for our scotches.
So to me, this does smell like scotch.
You are correct. Good. You've got that it's scotch now. It's not a rye.
Man, wouldn't that have been embarrassing if it was a rye whiskey and I was
like, it smells like scotch.
It smells like scotch.
The scotch guy picks rye.
The snozberries taste like snozberries, James.
Right.
So I'm going to guess. Well, first of all, my impressions on the nose, mostly ex-bourbon cask to me. I get more of like the light orchard fruit aromas, apples, pears, those kind of things. But it does seem to have a secondary cask influence. Am I right?
I have no idea. I'll check in a second.
You're useless.
I'll check in a second. Hold on, let me see. I have I tore the label off of the tiny mini bottle, but it's currently stuck to my pants. So hold on. All right, let's see.
James is now fishing in his pants, ladies and gentlemen.
It does not say anything about a secondary cask finish.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to look.
I just just to give you kind of a hint.
It does taste like there's a little bit of sherry cask in it, though.
Yeah, I don't know that this is fancy enough for a sherry cask, but
I don't know.
We'll see. I thought it was really fruity when I tried it. Kind of bright, florally.
It's very
with a lot of fruit.
smooth.
It is very smooth. It's not nutty.
So I'm going to guess it's 40% ABV. Am I right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job. Because it tastes like water.
Yeah. Well, that's not why.
It's definitely 80 proof. You are correct.
It's not that it tastes like water. Actually, compared to a lot of other 40 proof scotches, I do think this one's got a little bit of body and a little bit of heat to it, which kind of gives away that it's not super old. It's not that complex. But I think if you were paying under $40 for it, I think you'd be totally happy with it.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, honestly. I didn't know what to think about it. I just kind of grabbed it as a whim. I wanted something to bring, and I don't have any like lower price scotch at home other than the Glenlivet 12, which is what we're going to try today as part of the series. So I wanted to get you something that I thought would be a little bit different, and I was hoping it might throw you off a little bit.
It's definitely not peated, so so initially I would have expected like a blend like Johnny Walker or something if you were going to do a budget. But Johnny Walker's got peat in it.
Can you take a stab at region?
At region? Yeah, I mean it tastes like Speyside to me.
Okay.
But if it's a blend, it could be from
That's
anywhere.
true. It could be from anywhere.
It doesn't taste like a blend to me. I think it's single malt. Is it single malt?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job. Good job. So you've got the single malt.
So,
and what was the other thing you figured out besides that it was scotch?
The ABV. I'm going to guess that it is 12 years old if it's age dated, but it's probably not age dated. Yeah. I would never be able to guess specifically what distillery it is, though.
So what is your opinion of it, though? Just general qualities?
I think it's fine. There's basically no finish on it. So, I mean, I wouldn't really be excited to pour this for somebody, but I would be really happy to sit with to be able to have several people over, or if you're just drinking cigars.
If you're drinking some cigars.
Smoking cigars.
Yeah.
You know, this is just a pleasant, it's got enough flavors going on that it's not totally disappointing, but it's not going to really intrigue you either. I think it's just solid.
Yeah, I mean, so I kind of tried it a little bit while you guys were getting set up, and to me, it's kind of boring. There's not much to it. It tastes like a scotch. It's a little sweet. It's a little oaky, but not too much. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so you want to see what it is?
Sure.
So this is Grangestone.
Oh, dude, I almost guessed Grangestone. But then I was like, I don't want to look like a moron guessing.
I've never had Grangestone before, so I have no idea what the hell it is. But this is Grangestone Highland Single Malt Scotch Whiskey, aged 12 years. You got the 12 years. Strong work.
Thank you.
This was $1.99.
Yeah.
So that was my contribution for the show. I'm a big spender. I think bottle wise, I do think this is $35, something like that for a 750.
Probably.
And I think this is
I've never purchased Grangestone.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't surprise me.
It's Total Wine's brand.
Yeah, I think it's is that one of their spirits directors? Yeah. But I thought that would be interesting because you see 12 years, you see a single malt, you're like, oh, maybe I want to take a shot at it. So,
James, as the label tells us, it's part of the whiskey collection.
Of course. That's not vague at all.
Very specific.
Yeah. So I think the take home message on that is if you want something to like just kind of hammer at a party, probably not a bad selection. If you have people that don't really care for scotch all that much, it might be a good choice too because it's pretty light and it's fruity. But if you're going into it expecting anything complex or interesting or that you're going to sit down and discuss, that's probably not what you want to get.
Yeah. Well, and I think a big thing too is, like I said, it's really, I hate to use the word smooth as a descriptor, but for when you're talking at this price point, smooth is a legitimate concern.
Well, and it's when you soft, get to, right? It's soft on your palate.
Because when you get to really low price whiskeys, you can get really harsh, astringent grain alcohol quite quickly, especially around like the $20 mark. Really when that seems to be the cutoff point, especially with like bourbon where you go from like harsh, you don't want to drink it neat, to like, okay, I can sip it neat. And so, I think if you're looking for a budget single malt, that's not a bad pick.
Yeah. Well, good job. I'm impressed that you got the single malt. You got the 12-year.
Yep. So I'm going to flip my coin to the Malt Mondays.
Because you got it right, so you're bragging.
Because I got it right, and I'm bragging. Go check out Malt Mondays on YouTube, guys.
Nice.
So